Hi everyone. So today I just wanted to go over my process for figuring out our budget for the month of November. So what you see in front of you right now is the actually the October budget, but I've just changed the dates so that I can put in the figures for November. But all the numbers you're looking at right now are the numbers I had for October. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna zoom in, I think, just so that help you guys see it a little bit easier. The reason why I like to, this is on Excel spreadsheet, and I just use the same template from month to month, and I just make adjustments as the months go by. So last month we got a sizable amount of money from gifts for the baby, and my husband's tax refund finally came in about 5 months late. But anyway, so we don't have that anymore, so I'm just gonna get rid of that. So you can see here the total self-adjusts, which is why I like Excel the best. I don't have to do any of the calculating, I just have to plug in the numbers. So these I think all stay the same. Oh, Netflix is going up by $1. Boo. So I have to change that. And I think the water bill was a little higher this month. Yeah, so I'm going to change that to 60.94. Okay, so that's the adjustments there. Now for the debts, you can see I had put a good chunk of the tax return into credit cards last year, but this month, or last month, but this month we don't have that, so I'm just gonna change some things around. I'm doing the debt snowball, so this store card number 2 is the one I'm focusing on first. So that's the one with the highest payment, because it's a store card that every month is equal payments. It's an equal payment plan over 2 years, but I'm trying to, I think we'll be done by by February at the latest. So that's that. And then what do I have for this one? So the remaining credit cards, what I'm doing is interest times 2, so that I'm paying interest and at least paying a little bit into the principal as well, so that I don't feel like I'm wasting time on those credit cards either, providing I can afford it, of course. Okay, I'm going to leave sinking funds to the very end, because I need to know after all bills, debts, and expenses are dealt with what I can set aside for sinking funds. Okay, so my husband's section is here for expenses / cash envelopes. Now, the only thing that's different here is that he has to make a business trip to Halifax in the middle of the month, so I'm going to just insert a line here. I'm just going to write Halifax, and we decided for the 5 days, including the taxis, food, socializing, networking, and all that business, he'll need about $195. The rest I'm going to keep the same. This trip is on the 13th of November, which is why I was hoping to leave this to the second half of the month, but I can't, so I'm going to do some shuffling around later for the second half of the month. And then for me, my in-laws have left now, so I can lower my grocery amounts, pharmacy amount, gas. I'm going to keep the birthday gifts number. I've paid my taxes, so I don't need this line anymore. I can get rid of that. Delete. Shift cells up. And so this RESP is from the gift money from up top. So we did that already. That was from last month, so I'm gonna delete that as well. Okay. So you can see that's how much my husband has to pay. I have to pay my husband, and that's how much I have to pay me. So total bills and expenses, and then here's the difference, $132.11. So not a lot left over to put into sinking funds for this part of the month. But we have a healthy amount for the emergency fund and the house and car maintenance. Now this is going to go down a lot this month because I have to buy new winter tires. So sad. But at least the fund is there, so it's not going to hurt quite nearly as much. So we'll put a little bit of money into Mari's fund, so that becomes $50. Paisley needs her $50. Now we used that up for her food last month, so that balance stays the same. And Christmas, oh, actually I need to adjust that. That should be 20, but I think, what do we have left? $57. Okay, we'll put in 50. And so that becomes 50 plus 20 makes 70. Okay, so that's that. Anyway, okay, so that's the first half of the month, and that and that leaves us with $7.11. Okie dokes. Looking on to the second half of the month. So Hubs gets paid on the 15th, same amount, and thank you, Government of Canada, for the child benefit, child care benefit. So that amount has jumped by about $300. So I'm very thankful for that. So that's our total of income. Here's our bills. Line of credit. Shaw is our internet and home phone. Gas. BC Hydro is our electricity. Mortgage. Rogers is the cell phone, and St. Barnabas is the church we attend. So let me just check and see if any of these numbers have to change. This number might change. Like these ones are all set. I'm going to up this to 250 because I think I bought a few things on Google Play. So I'm just going to give myself a little buffer room there. But everything else stays the same, so that's good. Now here, these stay the same. I think I'm gonna lower this to 200. So for the whole month, I'm gonna try for $500 in groceries, which averages out to $125 a month, or a week. Gas is $100, so that's good. What do we have left over is $170. That's weird. That does not add up. $251.77. What's different? 128, 160, 140. Oh, right. I have to add in an extra line here. So, in Canada, our government has this thing called the Registered Education Savings Plan, which they will match your contributions up to a certain amount for that you can put into a college fund for your kids. So we decided this month we would start that, or restart it. We had stopped it earlier in the year because we're finding we couldn't afford it. But with this new child benefit amount here, we could start paying that in again. So now what do we have left over? $70. So what I'm gonna do is, because of my husband's trip to Halifax, the amount I would have put into our emergency fund was cut short. So I'm going to put in here an emergency fund contribution of $50 amount. So that's everything for the budget for November. Now the last thing I wanted to mention was, and I wish I could show you on the actual banking website, but there's too much of my personal information, like banking information, on the page, so I am not comfortable showing you or demonstrating step by step how I do it. But for all my bills and debts, I have them automated. So as soon as I have the budget finished, what I do is I go through the list of everything that needs to be paid, and I go under bill payments on the online banking website, and I will tell the bank what day I want these to be paid. So, well, the service charge is automatically withdrawn, but this line of credit, I'll say, okay, I want this amount to come out on November 1st. And then for the garbage, I want this amount to come out on November 1st, this amount to come out on November 1st. And then I'll go through here. Well, I'll do the same for all of these. So I want this amount to come out November 1st. And then all of these all have to come out on November 16th. All of these have to come out on November 20th. And this has to come out on November 28th. That is how I automate the bills. So even before the month has begun, I already know that the bills will be paid, and I don't have to remember on the day what bills have to be paid. So that makes things a lot easier. I mean, I have enough to think about during the week and during the month. It's nice to know that the bills are taken care of, and that I don't have to actually manually go through each one on different days. So that's it. I hope you guys have a great week. And if you have any questions about how I budget, how I use Excel, how I figure out how to use the different sort of auto sum functions and stuff like that, let me know in the comments below, and I'll get right on it. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.